faces formed together, made for elevation. And the soldier won't surrender. Faith is like a fire that never burns to embers. The voice of the unheard. Love is the answer.
I gotta speak it, believe it, that's how I feel inside.
I can't sit here quiet.
You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you pry it from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Sleeping in the shadows could be making history. Through the fire, on the water, used to be a slave, but now you are a conqueror.
They can take my heart, they can take my breath when they pry it from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. We're rising up, rising up, we're rising up, rising up, we're rising up. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us.
There we are, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk with Joe Vollano. It is so great to be back here behind the microphone. It feels like I haven't been here forever, but it's only been less than about a week and a half. So I apologize for Sunday. Ended up with the COVID. So I was a little bit under the weather. Still got a cough, so I apologize if you see me hit the cough button a couple times here throughout the show. But thank you guys for being here. I know it's an unusual Thursday show, so we'll do our best to cut through over here and get everything we need to get covered. But let's get the formalities out of the way. I am Joe Vollano. I am your host and your guiding light through the chaos and craziness that is going on in our city, our state, and in our country, because it is absolute chaos out there right now. With COVID making a comeback, which, again, I had it. Not too bad. But, like I said, you'll see me with the cough every once in a while. But, we'll muster through it and do everything we need to. But of course, this show always works best when you are involved in it. So if you want to call in, 203-679-9610, or you can always email us at straighttalkjv@gmail.com. And people have been loving, emails have been blowing up. I'll try to get through some of the, we'll try to get through some of the questions that you guys have been sending in over the last week. But again, like I said, always feel free to call in if you have a question. So a lot going on. I really wanted to make sure we had this show before the new year because I wanted to make sure we wrapped up the new year. You need to get tested. I already did. But a lot going on. And it's very important that we talk about it. I had a couple conversations I had a conversation again today with Joe Fest, who is the Economic Development Director here for the city of Meriden. Because obviously a lot of emails started coming at me about an article that was in the newspaper. And of course, written in great Record Journal fashion, like 50% of it is not even accurate. So, but that's why I always like to talk to these people before I make assumptions. But let's talk about what everyone thinks about downtown. Listen. Oh my God, excuse me. It comes in fits. So sometimes I'll just be fine for an hour, 2 hours. I have never had this much talking to do in between. So we'll try to muster through it, and I apologize in advance. So apparently there was a $90,000 study done by the city and Medco on the need for co-working space downtown. Now, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the study first. Now, first of all, I don't know why it costs $90,000 to do a study on anything downtown. And I'm trying to get my hands on a copy of that study because I want to know what that study consisted of. Who were they friggin' talking to? But it's just phenomenal that $90,000 for a study on the need for co-working space downtown. Now, the co-working space downtown, I really don't have an issue with. And before you jump on me, we're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna talk all about the co-working space downtown. And for most people, just may not understand what it is and how it ties into downtown. And we'll get into it. But let's just finish through here first. Now, Medco and the city's economic development are seeking $1.6 million in rescue plan funds to outfit 24 Colony Street. Now, Linda, let's talk about 24 Colony Street. But 24 Colony Street, while, yes, they have done absolutely nothing to promote or to push getting occupancy down in their area, it is the most well-equipped spot down on Colony Street. And what have I been saying for at least the last last 2 to 3 years right now, is that the city at the end of the day is going to have to spend money. If we want to build downtown and we want to bring businesses in downtown, we are going to need to spend money. It's unfortunate, but Democrats have screwed it up so much that it's the only way out. Of course, they've been sitting there waiting because this is actually going to increase their tax base too, because their assessment is going to go up once that area is built out. Now, I'm not saying that's a reason to do it. And I'm still waiting on confirmation on why they need $1.6 million, because that doesn't make any sense. Like I was telling Joe today, I was like, give me $800,000 and I'll fill her up in 24 Colony Street. So I don't know what they're spending $1.6 million over the next 3 years on. And I'm waiting to get confirmation on a spreadsheet on that. But let's talk about 24 Colony Street and this co-working space as a project. Because as a project, I don't have an issue with it. And let me tell you why. You need to bring money downtown. There is going to be no businesses that are going to come downtown because, like we talk about 1,000 times, they have no disposable income. Now, these co-working spaces are very popular right now. Hell, they were popular 4 years ago when I first started Filler Up. And I was familiar with Regis at the time, out of Hartford. And then you have the District, which is down in New Haven. And you have Centerpoint out of Middletown that do these type of things. And what this is for new small businesses. You could rent space, office space, and then you share conference room space, stuff like that. You have a receptionist there, and you pay a monthly fee for the service. It's actually a pretty good service, and it's actually very popular right now. It's been popular for years. Like I say, if you look at the District down in New Haven, they are packed. They are packed. In fact, I believe there's a waiting list to even get on there. Centerpoint, up in Middletown, right on 91. You see it from the highway. Is very successful. Regis has multiple places in the state where you could do this type of stuff. And for small entrepreneurs, those with money that are looking to build their business, those are the people you want downtown. So while yes, you are rewarding 24 Colony Street for their piss poor behavior over the years. But at one point, what's more important at this point? Is it getting 24 Colony Street occupied and bringing people in? Or do we just want to sit here and fold our arms and pout, sitting there saying, no, they're bad, so therefore we can't do anything? I'm all for moving the city forward. I'm all for moving the city forward. And I think bringing in entrepreneurs, even if they're just starting out, because the whole idea is to get them in there, let them build their business, and then have them purchase properties around the city. Who should split the cost? Who should split the cost? Listen, this is going to be the argument for the ages, which is why I bring it up. I understand where people are at with downtown. I'm there too. I've been there for quite a long time. But we have an opportunity here. We have an opportunity to do what we thought we needed to do, which was I thought we needed to do, which is to spend money to get downtown started. And I think bringing in these type of individuals is the best way to go. Now, would I love to see retail? Would I love to see restaurants? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm hoping that this is the first step to achieving that. I'm hoping that this co-working space, which again is very popular, and I don't think he's going to have any problems renting out those spaces. I think this is going to be a great opportunity that I hope succeeds. Now, yes, I understand everybody is very, very frustrated. Very, very frustrated with 24 Colony. I'm there. But I'm not willing to let that blind me from the fact that we have an opportunity that we should jump on. And really, there's no other space other than 24 Colony that this would work. Nowhere. The only other option you have for that to actually work, the only other place you could maybe have that work is the ones that were just bought when they revamp them. That's really the only other space. Other than that, you tell me one space downtown where you can go that's up to code and ready to go. All you have to do is build it out. Yeah, the other cliffs again. That's not downtown. That's all the way. That's all the way up in on the west side. I understand where people's frustration is. That would be better. So that's totally different. So we're talking now. So if you're talking across the street, again, this is where you have two competing factors. You have the Democrats with their low-income housing, and they want to put more low-income housing in the ones that were just auctioned off. When they build those up, they want to put low-income housing in there. That's what Democrats would love to do. That's counterproductive to what Joe Fest and Medco are trying to do over on 24 Colony. So you have competing interests downtown trying to figure out which one's going to win. I'm willing to take a chance on co-working space just because I know what it is and I know how successful it's been. It's been very highly successful. We have the train station right there. There's going to be a lot of people, like I said, New Haven, the district, has a waiting list. If we could get those people to start coming up here on a quick 20-minute ride up, it could pay out for us. It could pay out. It can work. To me, it's worth a try. And with the COVID funds, I say go for it. I'm all in on this one. I'm willing to give it a try here. Because like I said, there's no way the city does not spend money to build downtown up. I don't get Linda, maybe you have to call in because I don't understand. I want to understand where you're coming from with why should 24 Colony not have to participate? Participate in what? What do you want them to participate in? I hear and I understand you guys are stuck on this whole 24 Colony Street. They've been screwing us for the last 5 years, and now they're getting paid off. You name me one. Maybe you don't understand the business side of it. No one's going to build out your space for you. It's just not going to happen. They offered, I believe it was $40,000 to help in the build out expenses. Maybe they're getting that, but that's a moot point at this point, right? It's a moot point. No matter where you move it to or where you build this, you're gonna have to pay for outfitting it. You're going to have build-out costs. There's no two ways about it, no matter where you moved. Sure, of course they're going to collect rent. Of course they are. But like I said, once the build-out's complete, they'll be reevaluated and their taxes will go up also, which will help the city out. So there are some benefits to it. But I think we need to look at the bigger picture here. We need to put all of our animosity towards certain things aside and say, does this better downtown? Does this better downtown? Does this project give us a brighter future for downtown? And if you look at the past 5 years and then you look at this project now, and then you look at how successful it's around everywhere else, don't you sit there and say, yeah, I think this is worth a try? isn't it worth a try? And if it is successful, what does that mean? That means more businesses coming downtown. So, like I said, while I get the aggravation, I share in it. But again, I look at the bigger picture. So yes, they're going to collect their rent. But like I said, we're going to get higher taxes out of them also. And at least we're going to try something unique down there. We got to do something. We have to do something. And having the ability to maybe tap into some of this recovery money, I think is the best way for the taxpayer to move forward. Because like I said before, it's going to cost money. Are we going to sit there and raise the mill rate to throw tax incentives down there? Or are we going to take the opportunity now to use the COVID money and the recovery funds to sit there and give this a boost? I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather have it come out of the COVID funds, the rescue funds, than have to increase the mill rate to take this opportunity. Either way, it's going to have to happen. So I'd rather do it this way. We don't have to like the whole thing, but it is a good plan forward for that space. Or the city can still give me $800,000 and I'll sit there and I'll build a filler up down there. And I'll build a state-of-the-art showroom down there. All right, $800,000, I'll take it. And I'll build that. I'll make the most beautiful space down there ever. I'll be more than happy. And I'll commit to 5 years down there. Would that make anybody a little happier? At the end of the day, the taxpayer wins, and hopefully the city wins on this deal. Now, I still don't know what's going to cost $1.6 million over 3 years to operate it. That really doesn't make much sense to me. And I'm waiting on those figures because that seems like an awful lot of money. Almost $600,000 a year to operate it, especially when you're going to be collecting rents or, well, their fees, their program fees by the individuals. I don't see why they need $1.6 million. That is something that we still need to talk about. So, but I think it's a good plan forward. I think it's worth the shot. So you figure if they're going to throw maybe $200,000 into oh, excuse me, $200,000 to $300,000 worth of build out. So you're going to be up maybe, so they'll be paying somewhere around 50 something thousand per year. But again, you're looking micro, and I need you to look macro. So stop looking small. Let's look big. Let's look big. And remember, they're still only paying 20%. They're only paying 20% still. Maybe 25 at this point. So their taxes are going to be increasing more and more as their deferment goes away. Hold on, let's see. We got a call coming in. Elaine, can you hear me? Hold on. There you are. Can I hear you now?
Yep, I can hear you. There's
You
an
can
echo,
hear-
but yeah.
All right, how an echo going now?
Yeah.
What's on your
Better.
mind?
All right. So I have a lot to say about this. So instead of putting my on the messenger, I figured I'd just call in.
Hey, I always enjoyed the conversation. I thought it was like.
So this is my
Yeah, go ahead.
this is my concern about 24. They haven't done anything to fill that lower space.
Okay.
And
What do you want?
were the one that-
Let's take one step. Let's take one step at a time. What do you want them to do?
I want them to have skin in the game. If they
do.
want help to build their downstairs, the bottom lower level,
Yep.
they should put in just as much effort as the city is. And that means they should match whatever money
Why would they?
is given to them.
Why would they? Now again,
Because
now I want you to be, I want to put you in their position. You get in their shoes. Why would you do anything when you haven't needed to? As a business person, would you do it? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
well, then you know what they should. If they're going to do it for them, then they need to do it for every landlord down there.
Whoa.
You're the one that said, listen, not one single person, not one place shouldn't benefit more from another one. So how is this any different?
Well, okay, but again, this is the only space that it would be logistically possible to do something like this. Now, again, I'm not saying I want to pick winners and losers, because that's what you're trying to get at. What I'm saying right now is that we have an opportunity now, Medco and the city, economic development, have an opportunity to do something here to jumpstart what is supposed to be downtown, which again, we all have to admit, we know it was going to cost us money to do so, right? One way or another,
Correct.
it was costing us money. Now, would you rather use rescue funds or would you rather jack up the mill rate? You rather use rescue funds, right?
You
rather use.
But you can't just give it to one and not everybody else.
Give it to
So are you setting precedent
no. Well,
by giving it to them because they have updated because it's the only building that's up to code that can put somebody that they can put right in.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna put.
Not to mention,
I want you to put
1.6 for 3 years.
I want to put your business hat back on. Get your business hat back on, and you sit there and just ask yourself that same question you just asked. Why would you do it there just because it's up to code? Yes, because it's less money. You know that. I know that. Imagine trying to do that.
1.6 is not less money.
Listen,
1.6 is a huge number.
1.6 million over 3 years. I think we've had this conversation. We need to find out what those numbers exactly contain because yes, that is a lot of money for 3 years. And for $500,000 a year, no. Especially when you're supposed to be making money off the people that are joining your program, as they call it. So there's still questions about this. No doubt about it.
And 1.6 for a building that's up to code.
Well, again,
is an astronomical number.
Again, depends on. We don't know what that $1.6 million is gonna pay for. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to be cautious when we talk about the $1.6 million. That will come. I've asked Joe to give me the breakdown of what those numbers are, and he has always been true to his word. And I'm sure he will get it for me, and I will share it with you guys. $1.6 million is a lot of money, without a doubt. So we're gonna wait to sit there and jump on the money side. But the overall plan for this and the whole overall project is a good project. It is a good attempt at jumpstarting something downtown. Is getting people in here that have money to sit there and go to the restaurants, go to the shops. That's the key here. That's what we're trying to do here. Looking at the big picture, it's a win for us. It's a great opportunity. So I understand your aggravation with 24 Colony Street. Again, I share it. But again, if you put your business hat on, you're coming to the same conclusion as I am. You have to, or else you're losing a ton of money. If you want to do this anywhere else downtown,
you have to start somewhere.
Well, if you want to do this anywhere else downtown, it's going to cost you $3 million. So listen, we can sit here and argue that like I said, we can look at this micro and sit there and nitpick every little thing. I rather look at a macro, look at the big picture and say, okay, does this have an opportunity to jumpstart something else? And the answer is yes. Is it something that is being paid for in a way that doesn't hit our tax rate and doesn't hit our mill rate? Yes. Okay, there's another win. Is it getting traffic downtown? Yes, there's another win. So I understand the aggravation, but again, I put my business hat on, and I think it's a great idea, especially since, like I said, it's been very successful everywhere else it's been attempted. So, sorry. So what what's the next one you're going to go
on what?
What else were you going to go on?
No, I just feel that, we're concentrating on this one building. There's other buildings down there. There are other businesses that have asked for the relief fund money, and you were the first one to say,
yes.
Well,
no,
you
they
can't
shouldn't.
give it to those businesses without others. So what? I don't understand why you think it's any different.
Oh, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. It's not an established business. We're actually just building. We're actually building out a space. One, again, that's going to increase the tax base. Two, is going to bring in people downtown. If you give this money to just established businesses, how does that bring more business downtown? Okay, let's take the coffee shop. They want $100,000 for what? Is she going to expand? No. The barber shop, they wanted 25 grand. Are they going to expand? No, they're going to take that money and run. The gun shop, $50,000. No, they're going to take that money and run. That's not what that money's made for. No, and the Gallery 53 is not okay. That's a totally different animal. Gallery 53 is a totally different animal. So I hope we're not comparing this to Gallery 53, because that would be two totally different. That's like apples and oranges. And we could have that discussion, though.
But what I'm trying to say is, so how, just because now you want to fill building and you want to spend that money because now it's a new business, that's okay.
It's not a matter of filling. I think this is the point that I think you guys are missing. Maybe you're not missing it. You just don't understand. Maybe I'm just not explaining it well enough for you. It's not a matter of just filling a spot. It's the possibilities. What are the possibilities? The possibilities are wins for the taxpayers of the city of Meriden. And when you do anything, again, put your business hat back on. Risk versus reward. We have a very low risk here to get a very high reward. That's what we're talking about.
A high reward in a 3-year investment.
In a 3-year investment, that could turn into who knows what. It could turn into you have no idea. It could be very popular. Hell, they could expand it over to the across the street when they actually sit there and renovate those 2 locations. Who knows? Maybe one of those business owners that started their business, maybe they move over to another business. Maybe they move into another spot of their own. And that one grows. And they get more employees. And it brings more people downtown. Risk versus reward. It's a low risk for the city of Meriden. It's a low risk for the taxpayers of the city of Meriden to get what is possibly great rewards. Especially when you look how others have outlined this and done it.
Well, I guess, you know what? I guess I am just a little discouraged because nothing is ever finished in Meriden.
Nothing's ever finished
Everything
anywhere.
is always started and nothing is ever finished.
Like what?
The flooding isn't finished. And
That's a whole different
the roads
conversation.
are terrible. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so the roads.
Our taxes just go up every year. Every year they're going up, and we're getting the residents that are in Meriden. They don't have any benefit. We don't get any benefit.
Okay. While I agree with you on most of
funding.
While I agree with you on again their opportunity to spending of Democrats is dead on, but this isn't what we're talking about here. And I'm not comparing New Haven's downtown because the district is not in downtown. The district is the old Connecticut Transit. So, and Yale, again, what we're talking about here is small businesses. So if you look at Hartford with the Regis, if you look at the district, which is down in New Haven, right off exit 5 there, if 5 one way, 6 the other, it's not downtown. So we're not comparing New Haven downtown to Meriden downtown. So, but what we are comparing is the benefits that it does do. Now, if you look at the old New Haven, the Connecticut Transit, which is the old downtown down over in New Haven, they took it and they transformed it. And they started with these small businesses, these small business owners renting the space. Now they have a restaurant there. They have the smokehouse. They have a big fitness place there. These are the things that come out of it. Again, these are those win-wins I was talking about. If you look at up in Hartford and the Regis, you know, it started with 2 floors and now it's like 9 floors. So I mean, this again, I understand everybody's excitement about, we're spending money, we're rewarding people that don't deserve it. Is 24 Colony deserving of anything? No. But that's not what we're talking about here. I'm not going to allow my hatred for 24 Colony owners to sit there and blind me from doing something that could help the taxpayers of the city of Meriden. At some point, you gotta put personal shit aside and put your business hat on and say, hey, let's just do it. Let's start somewhere. This is a good start for downtown. Would I say that this is a good start for anywhere other than downtown? No. I think Dan Zabrowski said it before. Again, I still believe that downtown has a lot of work to do, and we need to be working more on the outskirts and working our way in. But that doesn't mean we just abandon downtown altogether. And I think, like I said, risk versus reward. This project here is worthy of our attempt. Let me put it that way. We could agree. We could disagree on it, which is fine. And the parking, they have the parking garage in the back, which is attached to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think if downtown gets built up, it's definitely going to need a lot more parking.
And that's a good thing.
What they have isn't enough.
Oh, that I tell you what,
it would be.
If we get to that point,
it would be.
If we get to that point, I think then this conversation we're having, we'll look back on it and you'll be like, oh, well, I guess it was worth it. Right?
Yeah, I guess time will tell. But it's nice to be able to have 24 Colony have some skin in the game. To show that they care about the city just as much, and that they want to see it succeed. Hold on.
Hold on a second. Did you just sit there and say that you want to see them care about the city?
Listen, they're making a lot of rent money.
They don't care. They could care too less about the city. If they haven't demonstrated that over the last 4 or 5 years, they could care less. And when you think about it, every other business owner could care less. Because we would
That is not true, because I am a business owner in this town.
We would all be out of here.
That's not true, Joe, because I'm a business owner in town, and I care about Meriden.
Really?
And I care about what I build.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, sweetheart, I love Meriden. But at the end of the day, I'm a freaking business owner. If this government does not sit there and start taking care of their businesses and start really doing things to help us with our taxes, I may love this city. I'm freaking out of here. I will take all my trucks and I will be gone. My love for the city only goes so far. I'm a business owner. I'm not a charity. I'm here to make money. You're here to make money. If you can't make money
I'm
here,
not a charity
you're out of
either.
here. But then you'll be out of here. Then you would be gone.
I'm not a charity either, but you know what? What I do is I bring up the tax base in Meriden by building houses here.
Yeah.
So for me, I stay here because I do care about Meriden.
You stay here because you make money. You stay here because you make money. Let's not beat around the bush here. If you weren't making money in Meriden, you'd be gone. That is true. If you couldn't sell the houses,
because you know what? I could build in other towns. I don't.
Because you own the property here.
Yeah.
You own the properties here. If you didn't own those properties here, you wouldn't build here. So I just don't want to get into the thing of, well, I love Meriden so much that I'm willing to lose money in order to just be able to build here. That's not the case. You build here because you make money on the houses you build on the property you own. That's why you build here. It's not because you love the city, because you need to make money. That is why you do it.
That's not true.
It is true.
That's not true. We've owned the land for a long time.
Yeah, Dan, Joe put it in for the rescue. I already said that. I'm willing to put in $500,000. I'll give free oil to everybody here in Meriden. You live in Meriden, you get free oil until the $500,000 is used up. I think it's a great idea. But why can't it be both? Because, listen, again, as much as I love this city, I'm a businessman first. And if I can't make money in this city, and the city is taking me to the cleaners and taxes, when I know I could save 10, 20, 30% somewhere else, I'll be going there. Because I love my business more than I love this city. And that's just the truth.
It's very hard to do business in Meriden. It's getting harder.
It is. That's why I'm saying. So when someone says, why aren't they taking care of Meriden businesses? But don't sit there and tell me that you love Meriden and that's the only reason why you stay here. That's just ridiculous. That's just an absolute ridiculous statement as a business person.
That's not true.
I got to tell you this. If I turn around and I had a business partner that turns out I just love the city, so I'm staying here, I don't care about the money that I'm losing, I swear to God, I throw them right out. I love my business more than I love this city.
I never said anything about losing money.
But then again, so that has nothing to do with the
city. Doesn't mean
then.
You can't still love the... No, it's not. That's not true. You can do both.
You love the city because you live here. That's why you love the city. I love the city because I live here. I don't love this city because it makes me or loses me money. I love this city because I love being here. I love sitting there and helping the people out that surround me. I love my neighbors. I love the people that I meet out here on the streets. I love the people that are here on this show. But to sit there and say that I'm willing to sit there and I only build houses here in the city of Meriden is because I love the city. Well, that's
not what I said.
That is kind of what you said.
You're putting words in my...
Okay.
No, that's not what I said.
That's what we're hearing. But again...
No, that's what you're hearing.
But again, a lot of stuff needs to be cleaned up. I think, cleaning up cities' infrastructure and I think definitely enough for low-income housing. Well, New Britain's a little different. I don't want to compare Meriden to New Britain. New Britain's doing something very unique, which I think, again, I have no lost love for Aaron Stewart, But Erin Stewart is doing a very smart thing, and she's doing it by neighborhood. So the problem with New Britain is they have a lot of space that they are literally knocking down buildings and redoing them. I don't think we have anybody in this city that has actually tried to get that kind of grant money to sit there and knock buildings down as quickly as they are. And again, it leaves them an opportunity to be able to find developers to build them quickly. She's a moderate. She's not a moderate. she's as liberal as they come. So Erin Stewart is as liberal as they come. There's no two ways about that. That's coming from a conservative. Yeah, it's definitely working for them. It's definitely working for them in New Britain. Absolutely. Because they're able to find the developers to do it. So, but, so I just don't want to get too far off of the base of what we were talking about with this Colony Street. So this is, like I said, this is a great opportunity for the city, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's all we can, excuse me, that's all we can really do. Erin Stewart's doing great things for New Britain. Yeah, she's doing okay. Joe, are you an independent yet? I don't know why that's such a big topic. We'll get into that in a little while. I'll end the show with that kind of stuff. But oh God, excuse me. But you know, like I said, time will tell. Get to the breakdown of the spending from Joe, please. Spending for what? What are we breaking down for spending? Because we could get down to a lot of stuff that we have to break down for spending. Yes, I just got over the COVID. So I got this cough sitting there. Elaine, you're still there. I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm listening.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's about it for now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, time will tell. I think, like I said, when we put our business hats on, 24 Colony Street, this project is a decent one, and I'm willing to see this thing play out. And we'll see what happens. So we'll figure it out. But other than that, if there's nothing else, you have yourself a wonderful night. It's always a pleasure.
You too.
All right. Thank you, Elaine. So we still got other things to talk about, believe it or not, other than this one thing. As everyone knows, the library is moving over to the mall. It has been delayed again. So we'll see what happens there. But so I was more interested in excuse me, on the lease. They outlined excuse me. Oh my God. The 2-year lease at $90,000 annually, paid out $7,500 a month. Did anyone happen to read Kevin's, our finance director's comments on that? That actually is cheaper than keeping the library at itself. So, if anyway, we're gonna save some money. Yes, holy COVID, Joe. Joe did have it. So, and Joe hated it. I mean, it wasn't bad. My COVID was not bad, so compared to like my brother has it really bad. I had very mild. So, but I did have to quarantine with him over at his house for the last week. So that's why we missed the show this on Sunday, but able to have it today. So, but it wasn't really that bad. I still continued to work most of the time. So, so the library is going to be moving. They're saying hopefully January 7th, and they want to be open for operation on February 1st. So, we'll sit there and see what happens there. I know they're going to be storing a lot of stuff in other places, which really doesn't make any sense. I got to imagine that they had space available there. But while we're on that type of stuff. Did anyone happen to catch the Connecticut Education Association's email that went out? So apparently, the state's largest teacher union wants to push for remote learning again. Well, the library downtown, 24 Colony is available. I love that. That is awesome. Excuse me. So it looks like the Teachers Education Association wants to move things back to remote learning. So while I am 110% against that, I think the students are against that. You want to see an uprising like you've never seen? I don't think any city in their right mind is going to sit there and try to put everyone back to remote learning. You will have a revolt. You think things went bad last time? Let's move that along now. So their whole point is there's inadequate supplies of at-home testing. Over the last 2 weeks, the rolling average has increased by 68.7%. Now, while COVID is back in full effect with this new strand, like I said, I think it's very mild. Well, from what I had and from what I've been told from other people, that it's gotten so easy, I guess, that the CDC has turned around and said, all right, well, you no longer have to quarantine 10 days. You only have to quarantine 5 days. So if that's the case, I don't see how the Teachers Association could actually expect anyone to sit there and go back to a remote learning. One, like I said, I don't think the parents would even begin to accept it. Parents have to work. You're right. For the few parents that I guess that are working, because amazingly, it's hard to find anybody to work. So, but it is what it is. Oh, let me grab one more drink. So we were talking about Gildersleeve, my favorite person in the world. I'd be happy to say that the filler up truck is back in action. Thank you, Thomas, for you and all your hard workers up there at International. So finally got that done. Tea with honey will help calm that cough. I hate honey, but so I will stick with the tea though. It's tea and my cream soda. But so those are the things going on. So as we end this year, this craziness this year, we've had a lot of craziness going around. I think this is a good way to end it. I think if we look back at the winners and losers of this year, I definitely think that we've had our ups and downs. I think we're ending it in a good spot, other than, as far as in the city wise, other than I wish that we had more Republicans on the city council this year, but we do not. But we'll see what they could do over the next couple of months. Listen, I've been getting a lot of emails about this whole Republican thing and this. And listen, there's a lot that we do here on this show that you don't see. And there's a lot of things that I have conversations with other people that may scout the lines on whether or not I should be having those discussions. But I do, because one, I think it's important for the taxpayer. I think it's important that we have that I have independent on the things that I do. And I don't want anyone to sit there and think because I'm not on the RTC or if I'm not a certified Republican, that my views have changed. My views have never changed. They never have. They never will. And me not being on the RTC or not being in the Republican Party is not an insult to anybody. It is not a slap in the face to anybody. I know a lot of people. I know some liberals are looking to use this as, oh, well, there must be dissension. There must be this. There must be that. No, not at all. This move puts me in a better spot to do the things that I feel I need to do to expose some stuff that political parties might get in the way of. And like I said, I've never asked permission for anything, and I never will. And no one of any party or any position will ever tell me what I can or cannot say. I mean, hell, just what? 7 months ago, I had Republicans looking to throw me out of the Republican Party for things that I said here on the show. And that's fine. Because like I've always said, I have no allegiance to a party. My allegiance is to the truth and to the taxpayers and the citizens of Meriden, the state and the federal and our country. So I don't want anyone to sit there and look at it as, oh, well, you're no longer a Republican. That's not the truth at all. I'm still a conservative through and through. But there are certain things that I have found over the last couple of months that make me very uneasy. Very uneasy. Coming from Democrats and Republicans of power. I've been finding these things that have made me very, very uneasy. And I'm not one to shy away from it. And I'm not one to sit there and turn around and not go after those people. So it's better for excuse me, it's better for everybody that I take this position that I am. Being more independent, because I got to tell you, I'm going to be going after some Republicans a lot harder than I probably ever went after Democrats. Because I said this before, I expect more from Republicans. They should not be acting like this. They should not. I do hold them to a certain standard. Because we're better than that. I come to expect a lot of these things from Democrats. But I'm not going to say allegiance. My viewpoints have never changed and never will. If you go watch tape from me from 20 years ago, I'll be saying the same shit I'm saying here today. And that's not going to change. My job is to hold people accountable. My job is to dig some more, and then expose it. Because I think there's some shady stuff going on in this city. In fact, I know there's shady stuff going on in this city. And it's being done on all sides. And everybody's going to be held accountable for it, no matter what your party affiliation. If I find that you're in on it, I will bury them. Not caring what party you're on. And I think some of this stuff going on, and I'll sit there and say, the Board of Ed. I'm very, very disturbed with what's going on in the Board of Ed. The lack of transparency, a lack of accountability, and then the straight out fucking lying to our faces. And then sitting there saying, you had a choice in this matter. When you had no choice. It's one big circle jerk over there. And if they think I'm going away, I am not going anywhere. Now that I'm back, COVID free, they'll see me tomorrow down at City Hall. And I got a list of FOIs for the Board of Ed. I've lost my faith in the Board of Ed. I have. And it's sad because it's run by Republicans. And I feel like everybody's in on the game. Everyone's in on the game. We're all buddies. You know, the Board of Ed loves to say that all the time. We don't do politics here. No, because you're all robbing us. You're all robbing the politicians too. You're all in it together. I don't like it. I think these fields and how they're spending and how the no transparency on how they're spending this money, I think is a disgrace. I think the Board of Ed should be ashamed of themselves. Absolutely ashamed of themselves for what they have done. But they're not. They're not. They figured, hey, we got one by him. Oh, Joe found out. Oh, Joe's exposing it. Enough people don't care. Enough people don't care. Listen, that's the truth with anything in this city. That's the truth with anything in this city. All the stuff we've been talking about over the last months and years. There's not enough people that care. I get every time I talk to somebody, do you know what I get? Well, that's just the way things are. Do you know how crazy that makes me every time I hear that? That's just the way things are. No, it's not. Bob, we were just talking about that today. Look at the Board of Ads Daily. Was just talking about that today. What the hell are we spending ads for promoting the public school system? You either live here or you don't. Bob, don't even get me started on that. Bob, you're gonna have me going crazy. Bob, we were literally just before the show started, I was having that discussion with someone on that exact same issue. Absolutely hilarious. Thank you, Bob. Made my day there. But listen, there's just so much stuff out there right now. And again, I'm frustrated. I'm highly frustrated. I know it's going to take some time for us to get this information. They're not going to give it willingly. I want to know. I'm looking to find out all these conversations that went into the Board of Ed and these North Fields. I want to know everything there is about it. I want to know who started it, who came up with this plan, who drew these plans. I want to know everything. So we got a lot of work to do. And I'm sure I'm going to lose a lot of people that I probably used to talk to all the time. But it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than any one party. It's bigger than any one person. And my job right now is to find the truth. Find the truth and expose it. That's what I'm looking to do. If it happens to bring people down, so be it. And I don't want anyone to sit there going, oh, it's my fault. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. So we got a lot of work to do going into the new year. And I think this is the way we end the new year. I think this is the way we do it with a fresh start. You know, 2022 is a brand new year. And listen, I still love everybody that's in the Republican Party. Still love them. I have no hard feelings against anybody. I'm sure there are some out there that are probably pissed at me. And that's okay. That's your right. That's your prerogative to do. You can be mad. But when we do the things that we need to do, You'll see why. Oh, it is their own doing. I still love everybody that I've talked to over the years. I made some great friends in the RTC, and they're still friends of mine. But again, the things that I need to do are better done as an independent and not as a political party. That's all. It is nothing bad against against the party. The party is still great. And the people are still great. So this just gives me a little bit more flexibility. So, all right. Well, we're still going to have a show on Sunday. So it is going to be the new year. So we will recap, and we'll see if anything else flies. We'll have a short show on Sunday. We'll see what we got. Maybe we'll do some question and answers. I just got a ton of questions in my inbox that people have been freaking. I'll fucking beat you there, Sean Holloway. Holloway she's still my favorite person, I think, in the city. She is my favorite. I think she loves me anyways. But again, so we'll have a show on Sunday, and it'll be a short show, but we'll have one nonetheless. So if anyone needs anything, always email me. If you want any clarification, email me, and we'll make sure we get that done. Until then, guys, mom needs oil. Have her call the office. Until then, guys, be safe, be well. I don't know. Hopefully this cough will be gone. Hopefully this cough will be gone before Sunday. Hope and pray. But we'll see what happens. Until then, guys, thank you. I love you. God bless you. And as always, God bless this amazing city of ours, state of ours, and of course, this great country. Without here, we have nowhere else to go for freedom. I love you guys. Until then, I'll see you later.
And the million faces formed together, made for elevation. And the soldier won't surrender. Faith is like a fire that never burns to embers. The voice of the unheard. Love is the answer.
Gotta speak and believe it, that's how I feel inside.
I can't sit here quiet.
You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you pry it from my cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise up. Heart is beating faster, feels like thunder. Magic static, call me a fanatic. It's our world, they can never have it. This is how we rise up. It's our resistance, you can't resist us. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Sleeping and the shadows could be making history. Through the fire, on the water, used to be a slave, but now you